Well, good morning. Welcome back to another day of almost daily meditation. It's Friday through our first week. And we had a great week of thinking about different things. I really appreciate everybody watching the videos and commenting. We've been thinking about, points of light and how we find that. We've thought about questions like, what does our soul need? What is God sort of stirring up in us? And we thought a little bit about with what Kelly's reflection yesterday about the meaning and purpose of our life and the urgency at sometimes when we encounter death or dark things, to get to the more core purposes of who we are. And so I have been doing a book study at St. Thomas on Sunday mornings during the Adult Forum on a book called The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is a kind of art guru, music guru. He started Def Jam Records back in the 80s and then has been kind of an inspirational person for lots of people, and inspiring them in their art and creativity. And he writes that the universe is only as large as our perception of it. When we cultivate our awareness, we are expanding the universe. This expands the scope, not just of the material at our disposal to create from, but of the life we get to live. So he's talking here about opening up perception. And I think that sometimes this work that we do is about that, is like, how do we see the world more for what it is? Or how do we find ways to do that? Looking for the points of light opens up a new perspective in the midst of darkness. Asking a question like, what does our soul need, opens up pathways for us to think about, how do we need to connect to God and how do we need to connect to others? And thinking about Lent as a way of cultivating our awareness or cultivating our perception or expanding our understanding is a way of gaining sort of new insights into ourselves. I remember lots of different things in my life where my perception of the world or other things was radically expanded. And I remember one of my experiences, I went to New York City when I was 19. I flew out to go see a friend and met him in New York City. I'd never been to a city like that. I'd never traveled on my own. I got on a plane, flew out, landed at JFK. My friend met me there at the airport, and we took the subway and we stayed in Harlem that night. And so the place that he was living, he had a place in Harlem, and we went down there and we got on the subway in New York City at 1 a.m. So we were totally safe, by the way. New York City is not nearly as bad as some people think, but I had my perception open, my universe open, and my awareness open in all kinds of new ways. The first thing that happened was on the first stop, a big burly football player came on in full dress, football outfit, pads, everything, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was like a Monday. And I was like, when I looked at my friend Beat, I was like, what? Why is there a football player? And he's like, I don't know, I guess he's playing football. And at the next stop, somebody came in and they were doing fundraising. I didn't know it was going to be fundraising, but he said, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? And I thought for sure we were getting robbed. And he was collecting money for orphans or something like that. And another time, somebody else came on, and New York City is this like cacophony of humanity and strangeness and wonderfulness all at the same time. And I remember just kind of standing there being, wide-eyed and having this new experience and this new understanding. And it stirred up in me sort of a desire to be in the world and to be creative and to be wanting to see more and more of the breadth of humanity. And that whole week was like this series of new experiences. For instance, the place we were staying, some of his roommates made their own yogurt. I had no idea that you make yogurt. I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff, but he had a candle and he had this little thing and he put this thing out the night before and he put some milk in it and added some cultures. And then the next morning they had yogurt and they would eat that yogurt, and it was the best yogurt I'd ever had. I'm sure it was just regular yogurt, but in my mind it was the best yogurt. And, the bagel we had from a legitimate bagel shop was the best bagel. And in that process, it opened up all kinds of new things and new understandings and new realities of how the world is and where it's going. I hope this week has been good. I hope you've been able to find some new stuff. And so maybe take some time over the weekend to think about how looking at these questions have opened your perceptions of God or opened your perceptions of the universe that you see, or how you are more aware of your spiritual life as we begin to enter the second week of our Lenten journey. God bless. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday if we don't see you this weekend at services.